people who can change the future just by being a part of it. My name is Alicia, and I am your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. A public service announcement brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Tavish Smiley.
I've got just one word.
What does black ownership in media mean to the community?
Empowerment.
A black talk radio station very needed in the community.
African American radio is central.
900 AM WURD is Pennsylvania's only black-owned talk radio station. And with your support, we're going to continue to respond to the needs of our community while celebrating, affirming, and recognizing culture, family, activism, and business. Help preserve and protect the rich legacy, cultural and event awareness, and community-based activism that's available exclusively through independent black-owned media by becoming a member of the Forward movement. Start or renew your Forward membership today at 900amwurd.com or call 215-425-7875.
And continue to support 900 AM WURD.
You're listening to Wake Up with Word, hosted by Solomon Jones on 900 AM WURD and 900amwurd.com.
Good morning. This is Solomon Jones on 900 AM WURD, the Wake Up with Word show, and we are back. And we're taking your calls at 215-634-8065, a toll-free 1-866-361-0900. Those are the numbers you can call to get in on the conversation. We are about to talk to our next guest, and that is Ithar Hamid. She joins us to talk about the Afro-Arab experience. Good morning.
Hi, Mr. Solomon. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it is a pleasure. So, we see a lot of issues come about for people with mixed heritage, whether it is black and white or black and Hispanic or any number of combinations. What has your experience been as somebody who has this Afro-Arab background?
Yes, thank you so much for that question. So as my experience basically as an Afro-Arab person from Sudan is it's been a good experience actually so far. In that it's been positive and I've had a lot of good experiences. But the main reason that my experience has been good as an Afro-Arab is because I feel like I have the best of both worlds sort of, and I have two world views more or less. So for example, because of my African heritage and my African roots, I feel that I can relate to the struggles that blacks go through in the world, and I feel like I can relate to black struggles more so than a Lebanese person or a Syrian person, because though Sudanese, Lebanese, and everything, we're all Arab. The difference between us is that basically Sudanese and other nationalities, they have a lot of African blood in them. So, and whereas a Lebanese person...
Are you on speakerphone?
No, sir.
No, you're not. Okay. All right. That's all right. You sound a little bit muffled. I was hoping that maybe we could get you off that speakerphone, but that's okay. So let me ask you this. So you are of Sudanese descent, correct?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay. So when you looked at that travel ban, because Sudan is one of the 3 African countries that are on that travel ban from President Donald Trump, how did you feel as someone who's Sudanese?
Well, being aware of the travel ban that was on Sudan, honestly, and all the countries actually, but specifically, I guess Sudan, I was disappointed, honestly, a little bit disappointed in, not per se in Donald Trump per se, because I know he has his views as the president, and he wants to keep the country safe from terrorism and everything, and he wanted to protect his citizens. But at the same time, I'm disappointed because I'm an American citizen actually, and I have the passport and everything. I've been here for a long time, and I took school here and everything, so I know that the history of America, the United States, is it's a land made up of immigrants basically, and everyone here is an immigrant. Was an immigrant at some point, and it's what makes this country great, and the diversity really is what makes it great. So I don't think that you can really discriminate on somebody based on like where they're from or their religion, basically. So that's where my disappointment came in, basically.
Mm-hmm. Well, everybody except the Native Americans. I got to speak up. My mother-in-law is Native American. Shout out to her. Got to make sure. So,
yeah.
But from an American citizen standpoint, and as somebody who has a wider understanding of how things work in other places and in other cultures, what is your take on what is going on with Muslims and the United States and some of the policies that we're seeing coming out of this new administration?
I see, yeah. So, that's a good question, especially, like, I'm Muslim, too, but, like, with the Muslims and the Muslim, like, they recently, I know they overturned, like, the Muslim ban. They said that it was unconstitutional, I believe, and, like, the Trump administration is still trying to, like, I think, do it. So with the whole Muslim clash with like the Trump administration, I feel like again, I feel like it's unfortunate, but at the same time, like I feel like Muslims, we offer so much to the country. I feel like all immigrants, no matter where you're from, you feel kind of again disappointed, a little bit frustrated because people don't understand your heritage, where you come from. They don't understand your religion. And I feel like if people would, like, basically learn a little bit, not that they don't know a lot about, like, Islam and the countries that are on the ban, or perhaps they don't know too much about Sudan and Iraq and Islam and all, the countries that are on the ban and, like, the Muslims that are affected by this ban, this travel ban. Which would have happened if it wasn't overturned. So I feel that there's just a misunderstanding between like a lot of Americans and the religion of Islam and the Muslims, and I feel that all that is needed really is just more communication, more dialogue, like more honest dialogue, especially like knowledge about each other. That'll help the situation a lot, I feel.
So this is my last question for you. Sure. Do you experience any discrimination as someone who is an Afro-Arab, either from the Arab side or from the African side?
That's a really good, I kind of expected that you would ask that question. That's a really good question. So basically, and I wrote a little bit about this in my essay that I wrote. So basically, as an Afro-Arab, like the discrimination that I face, either from both sides of my ethnicities, it hasn't. I wouldn't say that it was like blatant discrimination, or even like real like discrimination in terms of like jobs or anything like that. But I have felt and I have experienced a lot of resistance to the idea of me being Arab, and the reason why this is so is because actually when you look at me and you look at a lot of Sudanese people or Chadians or Mauritanians or anything, a lot of them are quite dark-skinned and everything, and they have they might even have African features, like facial features, and their hair is like oily and all those beautiful features that Africans tend to have. So, but at the same time, we are Arab, like ethnically, we are Arab because our language is Arabic, and our culture, to a great extent, is Arab culture, like our food and our music and everything. So basically, in terms of the discrimination, it's mainly been in terms of people not believing that I'm Arab. Like, when I tell them, like, ethnically I'm Arab, they kind of get, like, taken aback, and they're kind of, like, incredulous and confused and everything. But I wouldn't say it's been discriminatory, really, or discrimination, really. It's just been, like, lack of understanding that people can be ethnically one thing and racially another thing, basically. But it's been a good experience so far. But I'm sure people who are Afro-Arab, they do experience discrimination in terms of being dark-skinned, like everybody who is black or dark-skinned experiences in this world, unfortunately.
Ethar, I want to thank you for joining us this morning on WURD to talk about that Afro-Arab experience. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for the song. I really appreciate it. It's been great. Thank you.
All right. We're going to take your calls at 215-634-8065, a toll-free 1-866-361-0900. Also want to remind you these last few minutes are on Facebook Live, so you can check us out there as well. And so I want to know what you think. 215-634-8065, a toll-free 1-866-361-0900. You can also tweet us at 900AMWURD or tweet me personally at Solomon Jones 1. We're talking about a number of things, including our top 5 stories, which are story number 1. National Security Advisor Flynn discussed sanctions with Russian ambassador despite denials, officials say. Where I come from, that's called lying. Michael Flynn got caught in a lie. Let's call it what it is. Story number 2, Philly police implementing first tattoo policy. Yeah, they can be tattooed, but they got to cover them up. And you'll be happy to know no tongue splitting or bifurcation by our police. I'm glad to hear that. Makes them a little less scary. Story number 3, former ethics